Good evening, my non-existent viewers. I am filming this video pretty late and I'm very wiped right now and I have work early tomorrow morning. So I'm gonna do my best to keep my movie review for X less rambly and as straight to the point as humanly possible. Kind of like a handful of, movie reviews I've made in the past few months. As like kind of a New Year's resolution of mine is like keep these movie reviews a little more bite-sized. But yeah, I just got back from seeing X and I saw the trailer for this movie a few times. I walked in not entirely knowing what to expect. The trailer made it seem like it was just like throwback like slasher film. It's like lots of gore, lots of sex, lots of violence. I was like, okay, well, seen it before, but it's like, oh wait, this is from A24 and respected film director Ty West and a really promising cast. And I was like, this is gonna be something else. I know it. And guys, I have to say, when I was walking home from the movie theater after seeing X, I was a lot more paranoid than usual. And when a horror film like has you doing that, it's done its job. This film was set in 1979 in rural Texas. There's a group of like adult film stars, or like they rented out this one like creepy house with a old couple like in rural Texas to film like an adult film, and like then the old couple figures out and a lot of really crazy stuff goes down from there. This film is beautifully shot. The cinematography was so on point, and the aerial shots and the score that went with it and the use of colors and certain lighting just made this film like these whole like horror movies about like, oh, the characters are in an isolated place far away from like normal society. Again, nothing we haven't seen before, but like you get the sense that something could go wrong at any moment. That's like one of the main things I look for in horror films. This film beautifully utilizes dramatic irony when the audience, like us, knows more than the characters in the movie. It's like, oh, that character's dead, but they don't know. The other characters don't know, so they go out looking for said character, and they're in for some pretty deep shit like later down the road. And I think my favorite performance in this movie was from Jenna Ortega's character. Like, Jenna Ortega was in Scream earlier this year. Guys, this girl is going places. Like, she's a young rising star. I think the casting was excellent. There's this whole like theme of like, young versus old. And yes, this movie definitely deserves its R rating. Like, don't watch this movie with your parents, and parents, don't take your kids to see this movie because there's a lot of nudity and a lot of sex, because lastly they're shooting a porno, and there's violence, and it is reliant on gore. And I usually don't really like it when horror movies are like absurdly reliant on gore, but this film is not mindless. Like, yeah, it is like a throwback to like 1970s and 80s like horror films like Friday the 13th or Halloween, but like there's something going on. There's a lot of religious references thrown throughout this film. Not gonna go into spoilers obviously, but it's like this is definitely a movie that I feel like I should watch like at least twice. So this coming October, I would highly suggest buying this movie on DVD and showing it to your friends this Halloween. Like, this is because there's just a lot of things. It kind of reminds me of Mother directed by Darren Aronofsky back in 2017, where like I saw that movie, I was pretty bored, wasn't really a fan of it at first, but then like the months following it, I looked online, looked at like spoiler talks, and I was like, oh wow, it's a biblical allegory. That's interesting. So yeah, there's definitely like a big overall like metaphor in X. I still haven't figured out what it is, but I do warn you though, this movie is not easy to watch, and it does really get under your skin. And they already finished I think that they're at least in production of the film's prequel called Pearl. I hear it's coming out later this year. I'm definitely looking forward to it because, guys, I have to say, X, I don't scare very easily, but this movie, it really creeped me out, so I have to give it an 8 out of 10 stars. It's a really likable film. Yeah, I also want to apologize for a lack of uploads lately. Like, I was considering just, like, going to bed after seeing this movie and just, like, reviewing it tomorrow, but it's like, nah, don't put off what you can do. Don't put off stuff until tomorrow if you know you can do it today. Or tonight in this instance. So thank you so much for watching. Have you seen X? What did you think about it? Let me know in the comments down below. Did you like it? Did you dislike it? Did you hate it? Or did you love it? Or somewhere in between? Please tell me. And yeah, follow me on Instagram, links in the description. You have a nice night. Stay beastly.